Do you know the areas of life that are affected by racism, white supremacy? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. This is lesson number 4 at African World Studies 101. And the areas of life that are impacted by racism, white supremacy, it's just about everything, or is everything. Economics, education, entertainment, law, politics, religion, etc. So let's talk about each one of them. First, let's deal with economics. Economics, that is resources. How does racism, white supremacy affect economics? It's the number one thing. Think about this. For what reason were African people brought from our homeland into this so-called New World? Economics. The Europeans wanted to create wealth for themselves, and they were not skilled in doing that. So they went and found the people who had already done it to help them do it. But they did it without any kind of compensation to those people for doing it. And so economics, think about the problem, one of the problems that the African people have, black people have. We cannot get a foothold on the economic system that they have. We're locked out of that system because they know that if we could get a hold of that system, it would be a game changer. And so we are deficient in so many ways by design in this system to be not up to par for them. There are gatekeepers that keep us out of the banking system, the monetary system, the gold, the silver, the land. And when we do get those things, they attempt to take them back from us because it's based on economics. It's the equalizer, so to speak, of all the areas of life. Then there's education. This is one of the two pillars that they control us with. One of the most dangerous things and one of the most diabolical things that has occurred to us is to allow ourselves to be put into their educational system. Their educational system was designed to help them maintain white supremacy, to maintain control over the resources. When we go into their system, it is not to help us be free. It is designed to help us maintain their system, to not resist their system. And in their educational system, they teach us all about themselves, their accomplishments, their achievements, their heroes and heroines, from kindergarten through PhD. We get a full dose of nothing but the white people show. And this is why I wrote my book, The White People Show, How to Understand Racism and Still Be Wrong About It. It comes from an understanding about that. And so their educational system, and see, to think about it for a second. Most of you are listening to this because you didn't get this information in the 3rd, the 4th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 12th grade. This is information that we should know by the time we're in the 6th grade. We should have a real grasp on our own history. That's what educating ourselves is about. And this is why I maintain that the first step to our freedom is to be able to educate our own children. We used to do it. We got to go back to it. The next area is entertainment. And we know the story of entertainment. This is the area that they have allowed us to flourish, so to speak. However, we do not control the economic levers of the entertainment industry. They are still in control of it. I used to say years ago to people, I would take Michael Jackson as an example. Michael Jackson was very, very wealthy, had been doing this ever since he was a child. But when you look at when Michael Jackson completed a CD, a project, an album, he made a lot of money. But I asked the question, what about the people who made the little CDs that contained that music? How much money are they making? And take into consideration that they're not just making money on the millions of albums or CDs that Michael Jackson sold. They're making the money off of the CDs that Bruce Springsteen does, the Rolling Stones, Luther Vandross, Marvin Gaye. That's where the money is. They're actually controlling that, and we're basically getting peanuts. The same thing happens in the sports arena. If you think that LeBron James makes $100 million for however long of time, we have to ask, well, what is the guy who owns that franchise making? You see? So the entertainment industry, they maintain control over that. Next, we look at law, and that's almost without no need to explain. They make the laws to fit themselves, and particularly rich white men in particular. But the laws are not made for black people or brown people or yellow people in this country. And next we look at politics. We look at the politicians. They're the ones who help make up the rules and distribute the money and so forth. And so when we look at our role in that, it's almost like a peon. They control that for the benefit of white people, white communities, white schools, white institutions, white causes. And so that area is affected as well. And then the last area that we're going to look at is religion. The white God doctrine. My mentors taught us about this years ago. You can go to any black church, for example, anywhere in the nation, and you will, in most cases, see an image of a white male image of Jesus Christ in an all-black church. And virtually no one in that congregation asked, why is there this white guy up here? And my mentors, Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Yosef Ben Yakinen, and others, have pointed out that if your God does not look like you, then that you need to question whether or not that God is your God. Through that, they have given us this image of the divinity that looks not like us, but looks like them. And we believe that that is where our hope is coming from. There was a theater play some years ago called Your Arms Are Too Short to Box with God. And the reason your arms are too short to box with God, because we do not make a distinction between that white God image that we see in the churches and so forth, and the white man that we see walking down the street or on television. They are one and the same. So racism, white supremacy permeates it all. And I've just given a real fast flyby on this. What do you think? What are your thoughts on this? Leave it in the comments, and I'll see you in lesson number 5.